Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to Mic'd Upstate. I'm your host, KT Temple, and we've got a great guest on with us. We've got Josh Rumberger on. What's up, man?
Hey, not a whole lot, buddy. How you doing?
Good. I'm good. Me and him are both in the middle of moving. So if
So,
you're watching the recording of this and like, oh, that's not very like KT looks like he's in a void. It's because we don't even have our computers set up. We're just doing this off laptops. So I hope you like the audio version of this. So awesome. So I want to have Josh on because he's got a really interesting story of how he has gone from in less than 3 years from getting his real estate license to being a fully 100% commissioned agent. So before we get to that, Josh, tell us a little bit about how you got into real estate and what you were doing before that.
yeah, sure. Prior to getting into real estate, I've been in the restaurant industry for pretty much my whole life. I'm 27 right now. I started in kitchens when I was 13 and pretty much was self-made with it. Worked my way up, from the dish pit to an executive chef at 19. And then I held that role from being an executive chef from 19 to 27. And it was time for a change. I have a daughter, and I wasn't able to give her the time that I needed, and I was really exploring all sorts of avenues on what I could do, where I could have my freedom and still make the money. And there's not many things where you can have both. So I figured I'd check out real estate and see what could happen with it. It's like, maybe I could
Was
sell a
there
home or two on the side. And
was there someone in your life? Was it HGTV? How did you land on real estate?
I mean, there's a couple of friends that I had that are in real estate. They're still in real estate, and it was just, I mean, a curiosity killed the cat. I guess I saw what they were doing, and it looked pretty cool. So
Awesome.
figured I'd get into it. Yeah.
Great. So what was it like getting your license and getting that started?
I mean, no, it was pretty straightforward for me with being in the kitchens. Like, I never even had used an email, to be completely honest, until I had no need for it. So
Yeah,
there is a little bit of a tech curve
a lot of
for sure.
millennials that I talk to, you're not surprised when you're like, oh, you've never had Facebook before. But then you talk to a lot that are like, man, I don't even have an email yet. And it's always so surprising to me as the tech nerd of the region, how many
Yeah.
people in our age range just like that's new to them. They got to get used to it.
Oh yeah. No, I feel like I felt like it. I mean, I'm much better with it now, but at first I was like a helpless, like 80-year-old man, like, help me everyone. How do I type?
And
But
dude, for people like me, I thought I was going to be out of a job. Little did I know that the millennials need my help just as much as the 80-year-olds.
yes, they do. Yes, sir. Thank you.
So great. So you kind of had to figure out the tech. What were you do? Were you doing like daily videos? Were you just jumping in? What kind of helped you bridge the gap in your technology?
Um, Really just tapping into the resources that are already at hand.
What were those
When I started
resources?
with the tech trainer here, and my broker was a lot of help, and also the coach was a tremendous help, and they took a lot of one-on-one time to sit down, and very consistent with the classes and everything. So I was able to retain it pretty well. I mean, they're, yeah, super understanding. Any silly question I had, they're right there to get it answered. So
And so you mentioned you got into right when you started, you got into coaching. And so talk about those conversations and what you guys really focused on and that you really thought helped you.
yeah, I mean, so I'm still in coaching, even with being capped, because I think it's, regardless of where you're at in your business, you should always have someone to help you, to guide you. But I mean, we really covered. I mean, there's not a topic that I can think of off my head that we didn't cover. But we did CMAs. There's all sorts of like role playing that we did. Um, we would tour, property previews, touring properties. There's all sorts of things that we did. So
You mentioned the word cap. Can you explain what a cap is for someone that wouldn't know?
a cap is once you fulfill every. I mean, once you pay off the brokerage's portion of what you owe, you get 100% commission, essentially.
And so right now, so you're selling real estate. You're already capped for this year. Every transaction you do, you're getting 100% of that paycheck, right?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and I capped in May or June. I had 7 or 8 months before my reset. I don't reset until February 26th of 2026.
So you've got a few months. So every transaction until that point, you get to, reap the benefits of 100% commission. That's awesome.
And it's a total game changer. Like once, the thought and the idea of capping, like you see it happen, but it's, especially when you're new, it's like, that's not possible. There's no way. Like these are super seasoned agents. But what I did is I plugged into every possible outlet that I had. I took on all the referrals that I could get. I didn't try to get hung up on like whatever the split might be. If business was coming and I could serve them, whether it's a $20,000 piece of land or a $400,000 house, regardless of what it is, I was there to service it.
Yeah.
And it snowballed. It snowballed in a big way, so.
Well, let's talk about those activities. So this first year, second year, third year, how has the evolution of your activities changed? Because I know that first year you're like, I guess I'll do an open house. You're just trying to figure out something to do. How has the progression of your activities changed, and what are you doing now?
Well, I'd say my first year, although I was taking on all sorts of things. Like I ended up getting the Rookie Agent of the Year award my first year, which was pretty cool.
Congrats.
Just
That's
because
awesome.
I was, yeah, it
That
was
felt
sweet. But I didn't have like an organized system at all. It was just kind of throwing things up in there and seeing if it sticks. And pretty much like where things really shifted was June of this year. There was a few deals that I had in motion, and it got to a point where my business, like the kitchen and being a chef, was 100% getting in the way of my business. And I had to make a choice. Like, okay, do I want to focus my 40, 50 hours a week in the restaurant where I've grown all that I could, or do I want to explore this where there's exponential growth? And that's really where things changed. And I mean, I do open houses every single week, contacting my database and staying consistent with that, doing networking events, volunteering, like all sorts of stuff. And it's not rocket science. It's just being consistent.
Yeah, I think that's the biggest thing people get is they get lost in all the different things that they can do. Real estate is abundant with activities, and there's very few that you should be doing, and especially ones that you enjoy. If you like open houses, awesome, lean into it. If you're, like you said, not very much a tech person, but you're trying to run Facebook ads, you're probably not going to have the same results. That might not be your need.
I've learned some valuable lessons with the boosted ads.
Sure. So let's talk about, so you mentioned open houses. You're doing them every week. What are some of the lessons you learned from just doing open houses better?
Yeah, I mean, for me, open houses, especially here, like there's a lot of agents that don't tap into it necessarily because it's very rural a lot of the times, and there may not be like a crazy turnout for it, but it's all in how you advertise it. And what I've been doing is like advertising gas cards or advertising to like cook a meal to the winner and like doing a raffle for every single open house and just putting that out to the world. And I mean, one example of how it worked well, I did an open house. I had it set up super nice. Like I put my all into it. And unfortunately, no one had showed up for it. But I still was like, you know what? Whatever. I did all this. Let's put it out to the world. And I landed a $400,000 listing from it. Someone reached out and they're like, I really liked what you did. Could you do it at my house? And I'm like, absolutely, I could.
Yeah, that was one of my big mistakes, was just playing Pokemon at my open houses instead of like videos and showing off my work, and no one was there. So it's
Yeah.
good that you did. I guess I take it you did videos, pictures. What were you doing that showed it off?
Yeah, I did, well, both. I did pictures and videos is something that I've recently been getting into. It's a little out of my comfort zone, but I'm like, people they're gonna see you for what you are, so you might as well show yourself, and you're gonna attract the clientele that you want to work with, regardless. So just be yourself, and so I've been doing a lot of videos lately as well.
Is there anything else then in the past 3 years that you can contribute to your success? That you say this is one of the things that really helped me out.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it was again, it really it roots back to the kitchen. I was burnt out, and I needed a change badly. So that it gave me fuel. I mean, when you got mouths to feed and you're tired of the same thing every single day, you'll make it happen. And I'm not afraid to work. So
It's often sometimes easier to run away from something than it is to run towards something. You
yeah,
know, okay,
100%.
I got to get out of this kitchen. You watch Anthony Bourdain in the kitchen, and he doesn't look stoked to be there. So,
No, not at all. No.
so what's next for you, Josh? So you're already capped. You're doing about $3 million in production now. Is that right?
Yeah, I've done 3 million so far this year, and then I have 1.3 million under contract right now. So
So what's next for you? What do you think? Do you plan to grow your business even more? Do you plan to start
yeah,
a team?
yeah.
Or
I
you
mean,
just double
realistically,
down on the activities you're doing now?
yeah. I mean, I'd like to definitely double down more with it. Recently, like 2 weeks ago, where I'm sitting now, I officially have an office at the brokerage, and I just needed like a designated space to really just plug in and get after it. And that's been super helpful. So just spending more time in the office, doubling down on the work that I'm already doing, and just building the consistency to roll into next year. My 2 year plan is to have a team, but it'll take some time, but that's the goal.
If you were talking to a new agent today who's just getting started, and they go, I want to be where Josh is in 3 years," what advice would you give that person?
Trust the process.
Yeah, and
I
what is
mean,
that?
just don't get hung up on the statistics of what things are, and because I even when I had started, I got a little discouraged when I was looking at things, and I was like, see what can happen with it, and it's truly changed my life. So just trust the process. Don't get hung up on the splits of things. The people that are willing to help you, return the favor and be there, and just be consistent, be kind.
Awesome. Great,
Yeah.
man. Well, if someone wants to send you a referral or reach out to you about getting into real estate, how would they get in contact with you?
I mean, they get in contact with me right here. I got my business card, baby. But I mean, there's command. You could send it through there. I'll send out like blast emails and
We didn't
stuff.
even mention what are your areas that you operate in?
Uh, I go out pretty far, but all of Otsego County mainly is what I'll stay within. But pretty much anything within 2 hours.
Awesome.
So.
Great. Well,
Yeah,
we'll have
I'm
Josh's.
trying now to rein it in a little closer, but
Yeah. You don't have to drive so far. You're not that desperate anymore, right? You can refer something out. It's always a good feeling when you're like at a point in your business where you're like, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to send that to somebody else.
oh, it's so good. It's such a good feeling, man. It's such a good
You
feeling.
always know when you made it when you get to say no.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And again, I mean, back to the referral network. It's not even because it will benefit you that way too. Because I have referrals that come from all over, and then I get them and I send it back, and it's just this
Well, and
beautiful
me and
stuff.
you are working on something called KWYP. Um,
Yeah.
can you tell people a little bit? We talked to Shay a couple weeks ago. Talk to us a little bit about YP before we wrap up, and what you're hoping that will do for your business as we continue to build this out.
Yeah, I mean, to be completely honest with it, I still like. There's a couple. I've been to a couple of the meetings. I was attending the bold training during the majority of them, so I know we're just getting it kicked off and started. But I mean, there's great energy in the group, and I remember we were talking. It's the what is it? The second biggest funnel for referrals in the whole Keller Williams network. So yeah, um, it's again just about being connected. So.
Great, Josh. Well, thanks for coming on with us. Guys, we'll have Josh's contact information below. Feel free to reach out to him if you ever have a referral or you just want to learn from him. I'm sure I'll be happy to talk to any of our KW agents. Josh, we really appreciate your time. Guys, we'll be back again next Friday with another episode. We're actually filming this the day before Thanksgiving, so this will go out Friday. We'll be back again. Feel free to leave us a review. Share this with the agents in the office. That really does help us out a lot. And feel free to subscribe. We'll see you guys next week. Thanks again, Josh.
Awesome. Thank you. Bye.